Um, the Zulaikha told Yusuf, the Prophet Yusuf, how beautiful are your eyes. He said that's the first thing you're going to be judged on, and that's the first thing that the insects in the grave are going to eat. And Yusuf asked other than Allah, so the punishment was he stayed in prison for another 7 years. And if a believer dies, thousands of Satans move from him and go to the next person, attack the next person. And a man accidentally caused another man to lose £5 because he intervened in something. Even though he was religious, a snake came and bited him every day. This is what in his grave. This is what a person saw in his dream, I think. Yeah. The person who gives the most advice gets heaven, because you won't find a better action than giving advice. Remember, yeah, Satan lives in the air, and there's 500 verses on the intellect in the Quran, on the brain intellect. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you, He will make the angels love you as well, and people as well love you. Try to concentrate more on your salah. A person with pride in his heart who looks down on people and denies the truth will not even have an atom of weight of pride. He will not enter paradise. Sign of a believer is always crying, tears falling from his eyes. Good manners is the first thing you're going to be asked on the day of judgment. Imam al-Sadiq, peace be upon him, said, if I had 100 sons, I'll call them all Muhammad. And the sky and the universe is held by one name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So imagine thousands of blessings have come down in the Quran and our hearts are still falling. You have to ask Allah to get what you want. Silence is worship forever and glory and status. And it's dangerous to ask people for what you need, no matter how politely you ask. And like I said, you won't find a better action than giving advice. And when you put in nothing, you get nothing. And look at your heart, see how much you love a person, that's the same amount he loves you. Yes, some knowledge there. The Arab man asked the Holy Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him and his family, to advise him. So the Prophet advised him straight away. He made a poem. Select a companion from your deeds, because it is the grave. Because in the grave, select a companion from your deeds, because in the grave the only companion of man will be his deed. It is essential for you to reserve a companion for life after death, for the day when man will be called and he will attend at once. So if you are busy in any deed, be aware. Never engage in a deed disliked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because be it before death or after death, man will have nothing with him except his deeds. Beware, man is only a guest among his family members in this world. He stays with them only a few days and he marches off. The Holy Quran says, on the day that every soul shall find present what it has done good and what it has done of evil. If your bad deeds are more than your good deeds, then boy, speak for you hell forever, innit? Or for hell for how many years? I don't know. Thousands of years. Or forever, Allah knows. You might be taken out, you might not. The companions asked, oh Holy Prophet, is a pious man like... There was a pious man who died as a martyr. They asked him, is he going to be squeezed in his grave? The Prophet said yes. Some say it was because he not behaving nicely with his family members and his attitude towards his wife was bad. So he was squeezed in the grave. Imam Sadiq said, peace be upon him, said, Imam Sadiq, peace be upon him, said, was asked, is anybody spared the squeeze in the grave? Imam replied, ask refuge from the Lord from this matter. Very few escape the squeeze of the grave. Holy Prophet used to ask for his stepdaughter, please Lord save her from the squeeze of the grave, and he used to cry. The question of the grave. You have to believe in the questioning by Munkar and Nakir, and all Shia Sunni, they all believe in this. The angels agree. It is understood that the departed soul will be made to return to either the entire body or in some parts of it, so that they can understand the questions and give replies about beliefs and deeds. You will be asked, who is your Lord, who is your Prophet, your religion. If you are able to give the correct replies, a grate is opened near your head and the grave is widened as far as one can see. Thus the door of the grave, the barzakh, will continue to resurrection. It is the door of comfort and spaciousness. The body will be told to sweet and restful sleep. If the body is unable to give correct answers, the door of hell or barzakh will be opened for him or her, and a breath from the breaths of hell will fill up his grave. The very arrival of the angels will threaten the disbeliever by harsh tone, and flames will be leaping out from their eyes. Their hair will be very long, dragging on the ground. Munkar and Nakir, their name is. They will be questioned about the deeds. This is Bahar al-Anwar. A man was questioned about his beliefs in the grave. He gave correct replies. Then only one question was put on him. Do you remember that on such a day you had seen a person being oppressed, but you did not help him? You saw his honor was being trampled upon and his wealth was being grabbed, and you were in a position to help, but you did not do so. That fellow did not give up any reply. Do you remember it? Is one of the obligatory duties of every faithful person to help an oppressed. As he fell, the angel told him, punishment of 100 lashes has been ordered for you. Then they inflicted the first lash, which filled his grave with fire. Yes, this is the punishment of giving up an obligatory duty or deed. The infallible complains, I am weeping, remembering the question of Munkar and Nakir in the grave. This is the infallible person weeping and crying. So wow. Very scary. The reasons for the squeeze in the grave. Not appreciating the bounties granted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala causes a grave squeeze. Also, not behaving nicely to family members is also a reason for a squeeze of the grave. Backbiting, false accusations. Graves for those whose behavior and attitude towards all is good become spacious in proportion to their nice manners. Okay. For some, the width goes up to 70 yards. For some, it is up to reach of one's eyesight. Consequently, their soul will live in comfort and ease. The Holy Prophet saw his uncle Hamza after the martyrdom eating from a pomegranate in heaven. The Holy Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, went into Fatima bint Asad's grave and prayed inside it to bless it, and then he said, after burying her, Allah protect her from the squeeze of the grave. And the angels asked her about her Imam, and he told her to say, your son Ali. You can fast for your parents, pray, read Quran for them, give charity for them, and all they will receive. If you don't reply to the angels' questions in the grave, they will hit you with a fire mass so harshly that it frightens everything in the world. Then they open up a door facing hell. They squeeze his grave to such extent that it will almost send the priest, making his brains matter come out from his nails and flesh, and Allah makes snake scorpions attack him and bite him, sting painfully till the day of resurrection. The torture will be so severe that he will wish the day of judgment will come quicker, and the day of judgment is worse. Okay. I saw many trees. The Imam replied, I saw many trees on both the banks of this spring. Okay, this heaven. A non-believer leaves this world, and at his last moments, angels make him a drink from Kawthar water, and non-believer dies, angels make him a drink from hell water.